Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to today's patch notes. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the good stuff. Not too much to go over today, except for a brand new war. It seems like we get to the verge of closing one and finally getting this over with, but here we are, back again. Afghanistan and Pakistan are now at war. So, let's see what's going on.
Breaking news now, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very fast-paced developments in Afghanistan and Pakistan. At the border between both these countries, we've heard of clashes in the last few hours. We have some
Jesus.
pictures coming in on Republic TV, and these are live pictures that we're getting in. It's a live and evolving situation as
Look at those
Afghanistan
rounds,
claims that it
man.
has caused
This
significant
shit's
damage
crazy.
to Pakistan forces. There have been continuous clashes, ladies and gentlemen.
So, to preface with this stuff, I don't know who threw the first punch. I don't know what led up to this point. There are conflicting results right now. So until things are a bit more clear, I'm not gonna wager in on anything. As far as like or not wager in, weigh in. I'm not gonna weigh in on anything as far as like who did what and where, when, why, how, all that good stuff. So we're just here to get an initial reaction to what's going on, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Also, I keep seeing people freaking calling this another Middle East war. You're fucking retarded. They're on the Asian continent. They're not part of the Middle East. They are Southern Asia.
These are pictures that you're seeing.
Fucking crazy. Look at that motorcade, bro. So as far as I know, like this is all of the footage that's currently out about what's going on. And then we're gonna look at X and see what people are saying.
Okay, so these are the pictures that are coming in. So you get these pictures, these are live pictures that we are getting in. And a few minutes back, these videos came in. And we are trying to. We'll also try and get Shawan on the phone line. Shawan has also been tracking the story very closely along with our reporter in Kabul. Reduce the audio. We'll just reduce the audio a little bit because we're getting in the different videos from different parts of the border. But we are hearing that at the Afghanistan and Pakistan border, especially at the 201st Khalid bin Walid Army Corps, which has launched the retaliatory strikes on Pakistani outposts, and from the latest getting in, there is also one particular press release that has been given out by the Afghanistan Defense Ministry, which has said that Air Force.
This shit is crazy. Like they're literally out here with a bunch of souped up armored Tacomas with heavy caliber rounds out of a mounted minigun on the back. They really out here. They're really out here like it's fucking Battlefield, bro. Like how apt can it be that Battlefield's out here releasing with sand maps and they're out here just shooting the shit out of each other. Oh, it's so crazy, brother.
Have captured the Pakistani posts.
Jeez.
Afghanistan border guards have cut the fence wire in coast. This is in the Razai Maidan area.
Holy
Several
fuck.
Pakistani posts, according to some of the details coming in. Some of the reports in the Afghanistan media, and we're going completely by the Afghanistan media reports of the claims that are being made of the evolving situation. Hearing that 8 Pakistani soldiers have been killed in the clashes, 8 military weapons were confiscated from one particular post. Security forces also confirming the two security checkpoints of Pakistani forces on the other side of the imaginary of the Durand line
This shit's
in
crazy.
Helmand and Zabul provinces have fallen due to the fighting in the last few hours. Now, all of this is coming in the background.
Bro, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Dude, I'm so glad. Oh, I've never been more proud to be an American than days like today. I could only imagine living in a country like this with hostile neighbors or heavy tension between you and your neighbors because you really don't know. You really don't know when a missile's going to drop in your fucking living room because they finally decided to fucking go at it, you know? It's insane. It's insane. What do we got going on here? Wars fought by warriors. Pakistan learned Afghanistan. Wait, what? Pakistan learn Afghanistan and study yourself before bombing Afghanistan. You may have atomic, but what? English is definitely not their first language. Overheard. Trump has an opportunity now to claim the ninth ceasefire between Pakistan and Afghanistan. True. That is true. He could take an opportunity here, and my God, what is this? Sleep tight. Pakistan Air Force is awake. Pakistan Air Force jet crashed inside Pakistan territory. Uh, is that what that is? Pakistan Air Force, PAF, or is that like just the type of jet? I'm not sure which one. Um, Jesus, by a TTP commando.
हवाई जहाज गिरने से यहाँ पे लगभग
Yeah, that
15
jet
फीट
fuel
फीट
do be
तक
burning.
गहरा गड्ढा हो चुका है
Jesus, I wish they had some better fucking video quality though. That's gnarly. That's gnarly. 23 countries declare Islam as their official state religion in their constitutions, including Afghanistan, Algeria, Bangladesh, Egypt, Iran, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia. These nations often enforce Sharia elements per uh, USCIRF and constitutional reviews. Muslim majority around 40 Muslim majority states total around 49, but Islamic typically denotes official endorsement of Islam as a foundational. All right. All right. Grok out here dropping the facts. Warlike clashes between Pakistan and Afghanistan Taliban forces on the Durand line. Okay, so it's at the border, right? In the meanwhile, Bangladesh is closely monitoring to ensure not to soil their pants. True. True. So let's see here. Let's look up the Afghanistan. Afghan. I just spelled that wrong. Afghanistan and Pakistan border. Or grab them. Okay, so what's happening is they are fighting along here. Let's see, more tools, magnify. So they are fighting along the Durand line. So as we can see here, the Durand line constitutes the border. I thought that they were fighting each other. Wait a minute. Which one of these is supposed to be the fucking correct map? Google. Your literal only job is to provide me an accurate map that I can use for reference. Okay, so this is the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And if we look for where is uh, I don't see it on here. We might have to look. Oh, there's Kabul right there. Okay, so this is where they attacked initially, supposedly. Is they attacked Kabul, which is the capital of Afghanistan. Interesting. Okay. 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 So that's what's going on in the world today. We seem to can't be getting away from wars at all. Because who needs world peace, when you could just shoot a nuke into your neighbor's yard? um, Afghan fought all the wars with the help of Pakistan. Afghanistan herself is nothing. Now they are misguided by Indians, hence they are paying the price. Oof. Check the dead bodies of the soldiers. You son of Modi. Pakistan army is inside Afghanistan. Ask your father Modi for help. And it looks like these are some soldiers here.
कब्जा किया पोस्टों पर मौजूद अफगान तालिबान मारे जा चुके बाकी जान बचाकर भाग चुके हैं कब्जा होने वाली अफगान पोस्टों में आग और उनकी तबाही देखी जा सकती है पाक फौज की
Those are some soldiers with some AK-47s, it looks like. We're just going to kind of do a quick glance through here. Pakistan should stop pounding and decimating Afghan Taliban terror posts. Have mercy on Afghanistan. Ooh, India is going to attack Pakistan. For a few hours, Afghanistan has been mischievous on the borders, and now India is also going to attack together with Afghanistan. If this is true, because I mean, there's no verifying this. It's just fucking bullshit, fucking Twitter X bullshit, and it just says fucking sources. Shut the fuck up, bro. I hate that shit. Oh, sources. Yeah, bro. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Um, yeah, crazy, man. Fucking, what a world we live in, dude. Why can't we all just fucking get along, brother? Why? Do people just get bored? I honestly think people just get bored and they just want conflict, bro. They just want conflict. So, this is a bit of fighting that's going on. I mean, look at this. Why the fuck are we fighting over this? I mean, dead ass. Dead ass. Why the why would I fight another country over some dog shit dirt like this? I mean, seriously. Like I would be doing anything I could to work with other countries to help improve their way of life. Are you fucking serious? Look at this. There ain't nothing fucking here. What is this, the Midwest? What do we got? A bunch of fucking cornfields out here? What the brother? Jesus. Minister of the Interior GOP, Afghanistan will also be given a befitting reply like India, so that it will not dare to look at Pakistan with a malicious eye. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, honestly, the thing that I'm thinking the most right now, looking at all this stuff, is I think it's about time that we crown somebody else as fucking peacemaker, right? Like, this is in Southern Asia. Why the fuck would we go get involved in that bullshit? It's time to let a bigger country like us take the fucking reins, go there and deal with this bullshit, right? India is a perfect choice. They got a fucking billion or so people there. What the fuck? Get your asses in gear and go get your continent under control, brother. Sit those two down and have a goddamn meeting and say, shut the fuck up and get along. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna trade with you, we're gonna trade with you, and you're both gonna shut the fuck up. Dude, just do the Trump method. Just sit them both down, bring them to the table. It's like you could do that, or we'll just blow up your entire country and not even think twice about it. So you either live or you die. That's it. And it'll end so fast. But this is crazy, man. After the Afghan Taliban attack on Pakistan, Pakistani army soldiers run from the border out of fear of Afghanistan. So Afghanistan's really fucking smacking their ass, huh? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is following with concern the tensions and clashes taking place in the border uh, areas between the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the state of Afghanistan. The kingdom calls for self restraint, avoiding escalation, and embracing dialogue and wisdom. Smart. Which will contribute to reducing tension and maintaining the security and stability of the region. The kingdom affirms its support for all regional and international efforts aimed at promoting peace, sorry, and stability, and its constant keenness to ensure the establishment of security in a way that achieves stability and prosperity for the brotherly Pakistani and Afghan people. All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to see. And there's the freaking the boys riding out for possibly their last ride. Yeah, it sucks to see, man. It sucks to see. It seems like we get closer and farther away from peace every single day, man. It's crazy. But that is it for the patch notes today. A very quiet day. Oh, I guess let's do an update actually on the Moist Critical situation. So, Moist Critical in the last video did put up another video saying he's no longer being sued. So,
Good news! Phoenix Wright just lost a client as I will no longer be requiring his services. The potential lawsuit that I was wrapped up in is no longer being pursued. It is amicably being banished to the Shadow Realm, so it's done and dusted. I even talked to Brad Arnold on the phone a couple of times, who is one of the people listed.
yeah, I think it was just a matter of time, right? It was just a matter of time, like when the people would either reach out or not reach out or reach out with bad news. So, it was just one of those things, man. And yeah, it looks like possibly the law firm just took it upon themselves to go after Charlie because they thought it would be easy W's.
In the demands letter that was teetering on lawsuit. And he was very friendly and apologetic about the whole thing. And he was kind of filling me in on things with this system that he didn't even know was going on and he didn't agree with. And I think there's actually a lot to talk about in regards to how this even happened in the first place. But first, let me give you the lay of the land here in case you don't know the lore with what's going on. To
The
bring you up to
Lord.
speed, the previously on Dragon Ball Z, if you have no clue.
So essentially, he got served. He got papers of potential lawsuit. They were demands, but it was not a lawsuit yet. If he didn't meet the demands, then a lawsuit would follow after. Apparently, these two creators that were quoted in this serve of papers, they were not aware of this in how this system is working, and it is now essentially Charlie's off the hook here. These creators, I want to be very clear, these creators were not involved by any means with any malicious intent toward Charlie at all. So go give those creators some love and support because they got just as fucked over as Charlie is here with getting gaslit like crazy with these stupid papers.
What I'm talking about. Yesterday I made a video going over how I might be sued, as
Yep.
I had been served some very hefty legal paperwork. It was
Right.
spearheaded by an IP law firm believing that I was liable for potential copyright infringements
Yep.
and damages in the many tens of thousands of dollars, even into the six figures.
Which would have never stuck because these guys essentially their content is like news reporting, which is essentially just a public service. So, as far as I know, public service categorically has never been something that has been pursued in a copyright form, like ever. At least not to my knowledge. But as far as I know, and I'd be willing to hedge my bets on the fact that that has never happened, right? Maybe like there might have been an IP lawsuit for the specific like app itself, right? But for the most part, I'm pretty solid in the fact that I think that there has not been ever a public service sued for copyright claims or them suing somebody else for copyright claims. It just sounds wrong coming out of my mouth.
In the papers, there was a sense of urgency to comply and respond, and failure to do so would enact even bigger penalties, and that would be when
That's
the
how they get
full
you too.
lawsuit would come through. What I received was the demands. And when I received this, I was, of course, pretty skeptical because there are a lot of like fraudulent bad actors out there that are
Right.
phishing. Who knows? This could have been fucking pages from the Death Note for all I knew. It was representing
Yeah, if you ever get legal papers in the mail or a phone call, right? Do not give out any personal information ever. Ever. I don't give a fuck if they say that they're the sheriff. You call whatever the number is and you verify it. You verify through proper means, whether you call the sheriff's office, whether you call whatever the firm is that uh, served you the papers, blah blah blah, and you verify everything. Always verify. Verify everything when it comes to anything legal. Anybody who's requesting services, funds, anything like that, you never give up any information for, right?
two YouTubers, Brad Arnold and Reed Timmer. And I didn't immediately recognize who that was. And I don't do like React content or anything, so I was pretty confused. I thought this may have just been, potential phony baloney, suing local Florida man because he pooped when he
And I'll let him talk here for a minute after I get done here. But the biggest abuse of copyright that I remember was when YouTube was first like cracking down on the copyright system and they were implementing this kind of three strike system. They were very loose with who could issue the copyright strike, right? And it was getting incredibly abused because these third party companies would be so predatory that they would copyright you on the behalf of another larger company that they never even worked for. And they were just doing it. They were completely abusing it and they were getting money off of people, man. And finally, YouTube had to look at this after enough creators and big name creators got fucking scammed that they had to go in and tweak the system and change it and make it like more strict and less abusable by these corporations and these different like no name companies that were pretending to be a part of their umbrella. It's insane. But that's the only like major abuse of copyright that I remember in recent years.
meant to fart, I thought this could be made in error, especially because the language in the paperwork was very fishy, saying like I used it multiple times, but then it just listed the same YouTube video twice as if they were separate instances. It was a live stream I did during Hurricane Milton. I live in Tampa, so Hurricane Milton came through with the fucking meat. And I was streaming during it, and of course I was checking in on Milton to see what the fuck was going on out there with this hurricane that was in my own backyard here slapping us around. And
Right.
some of the footage that I showed was one was from Ryan Hall Y'all, who had footage from Brad Arnold in it, and the other was a bit of Reed Timmer. They were both storm chasing Hurricane Milton at the time, and in total, the footage that was used across both of their work was less than 2 minutes, and it was very, very
Oh yeah, this is I forgot about that part. This is the argument that I made it in like a show of good faith in the last video that he put up was that if they were legitimately storm chasing, like literally out there in the storm, like there's people in the Midwest that will chase tornadoes, right? Um, but obviously, tornadoes aren't as prevalent when you get down into Florida. So then you have, hurricanes and that sort of thing is the storm chasing that you would do out there. And that's when it becomes a little bit gray, right? Because like if you're just weather reporting, then it's more I would consider it a public service, right? Whereas if you're storm chasing, well, now it's kind of like a high action production, right? It's like a raw high action production because you're literally like POV usually of the vehicle driving into these crazy wild storms. And it's so interesting.
briefly shown just to stay knowledgeable on what was happening, both for my own safety and just, of course, to like show the audience this is the hurricane that
But obviously, there is still an argument to be made that they are still doing a public service, albeit a very risky one. So, that's why it's pretty gray on like what you would really side with, right? And I don't know. What's his name? Freaking Legal Mindset. I'm sure Legal Mindset might catch one of these videos and he might do his own like quick fast facts or whatever he does. I enjoy his videos. I'm waiting on another update for the Power World Nintendo situation.
that's here. It was not copying it or stealing it or trying to like make money off it or anything like that. I reached out to both of them privately just to check, hey, are these real right here? Are we dealing with big naturals or is this all, like fake? What's going on?
Wait, he said we're dealing with big naturals.
Off it or anything like that. I reached out to both of them privately just to check, hey, are these real right here? Are we dealing with big naturals or is this
Oh
all,
fuck.
like fake? What's going on? I just wanted to verify the authenticity. But 2 days went by and I didn't hear back. And since the paperwork did express a very real sense of urgency, I made the assumption that, okay, this must have been something they signed off on. So I got my legal team on it. And then I made that video yesterday, bringing everyone up to speed on what's happening. And I also do think it was just an important topic to talk about in general because it is concerning that if you do show like less than like a handful of seconds worth of like a content during a natural disaster, you could somehow be liable for many thousands of dollars. Like
I mean, it's literally Pandora's box. It's the unspoken rule of the YouTube sphere, right? Which is why, as a YouTuber, if you do react content, commentary, any sort of stuff like that, you need to pay attention to your DMs because like sometimes people will reach out and they'll say, "Hey, I'd rather you not react to my video," um, so on and so forth, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, if that's what they want, that's what they want. It's their content. So yeah, it's something to pay attention to. This freaking thing is loose for some reason and it's driving me nuts.
that is something that most people cannot afford to like take that kind of hit, especially when there was no wrongdoing, no malicious
Right.
copying or stealing of someone else's work, just textbook fair use, staying knowledgeable on a natural disaster and using a couple of brief snippets of footage.
I have no doubt that if he would have actually if he were to actually have been sued over this, I have no doubt that Charlie would have won in a court of law based on how I understand fair use. Charlie would have been just fine. And if even at the very worst, he could have just drawn out the fucking the proceedings, and it would have drained both of these guys' bank accounts anyway, because I don't know if they're on a same overall income level as Charlie is. I don't know these two guys. I don't know how popular their channels are. And I don't know how much money they're bringing in. So who knows?
footage to stay up to date on what's going on. And getting served paperwork like that with like the very serious nature, the very serious amount of money on the line, I imagine is very scary to a lot of people that would receive it. I don't know how many people got this big blast here. That I don't know. It feels like it was a shotgun approach, and boy, howdy, did they load that birdshot in. And both Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold were quick to respond, and also quick to like.
I want to address the rumors going around. To be clear, I'm not pursuing a lawsuit against Charlie. One of the great things about chasing is how it has allowed me to help people from disaster recovery to search and rescue to keeping people aware during dangerous situations. That's what that's what Charlie used my stream. That's what Charlie used my stream for during Hurricane Milton. I'm glad it was a resource for him, and I hope it is for many of you. I do have a legal team who monitors for people stealing my content. The same one Reed uses, and like him, I was surprised by this whole situation. I'm planning to speak with the team about developing a better process for flagging content to avoid situations like this in the future. This has devolved into death threats against my daughter and me. Oh my god, dude. And that's never okay. Charlie and I have spoken, so I hope this clears the air. Yeah, at the end of the day, right? You can't really hold anybody responsible for the internet radicals, right? Until we get to the point to where your real identity is essentially freely given to the world and you can't run away through your Twitter posts, these death threats are going to keep happening. Right? People are still going to get swatted. People are still going to get fucking harassed. People are still going to get pushed off. And in some cases, it can be beneficial. But in other cases like this, where it's just a genuine misunderstanding, it's not. It's not at all. It's completely overbearing. It's fucking. It's obsessive. It's fucking. Yeah, I don't know. It's just overall fucking radical bad behavior by radical retards at the end of the day. Nothing really more to say about it. Guy came out straight and clear and just laid it all out there. And yeah, I mean, nothing really to say. I respect him for making a statement and clearing the air like that. And yeah, it's a shame he's got to deal with these fucking crazies out here, man.
Like retract this whole thing, both saying the same thing. They didn't even know this was happening. So I'm just going to clue you in on everything here. The company Viral DRM is a company that has actually reached out to Matt before. And from what I can tell, they are now getting into the space of trying to represent creators as a digital rights manager to enforce their copyright, to smack down, bad actors.
Yeah, I have seen this play out several times, and I have both supported and defended the opposition when it comes to this stuff, right? Because I do think it can be useful, but there is times where there is an absolute abuse of power, and I don't know. I'm pretty polarized with this as far as like whether I like it, whether I don't like it. I think if we gave it a proper like checks and balances type of system, where it's like maybe they can put in the copyright request and then there's like a third party system that verifies it that is uninvolved completely from anyone's platform and it's just like a third party check system. I think that would be okay. I think that'd be all right. I think we could do something like that. But yeah.
that might be using it for their own personal gains. That way you can come in and take the pie back. And that's kind of the business model. The firm was not
Yeah, because when it comes to like this type of stuff, like intent is very much considered. Like if you're intentionally like what Hassan and his little orbiters fucking well not even Hassan really, but the orbiters especially who purposely were like trying to undercut Ethan Klein's stream. That's just a good example of exactly what the malicious intent of it is and why Ethan is suing them to begin with.
Viral DRM. I believe the firm was contracted
Aside
by
from all
Viral
the
DRM. They're an
harassment
IP
stuff.
law firm. They're a very real firm that does IP law. And it's very clear that none of this was ever walked by Reed Timmer or Brad Arnold. They didn't know. Both of them have said the same thing. They did not know I was named in this. And Brad Arnold went a step further, saying he doesn't know when they even send this out to others that are using it. That has now come to his attention now. That they are not even brought up to speed with who their digital rights manager is even going after and what for. Now, based on the conversations I've had and from what I've gathered here, I believe the process is Viral DRM has this content that they have the rights to protect. They log it into their systems, and then their system will start to flag instances of that content appearing in other works that maybe didn't get a.
So I'm wondering, okay, the thing that concerns me the most talking about this is what kind of agreement did they sign? Because I really hope that they have the rights to veto this as the original content creators. But like how much of your rights did you sign away for them to manage and pursue copyright on your content? Like eh, I don't know, man. I don't think I would ever work with one of these places, man. I really don't.
License deal or anything go through. So it will now see that that is flagged internally as a potential problem. Then it feels like they go full Yosemite Sam here, firing from the hip, shoot first, ask questions later, making the assumption that it must be a bad actor doing something, nefarious with this content to try and avoid paying for it, and thus action must be taken. And according to what Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold are saying, they don't even consult them first or anything. They just take matters into their own hands and do it without ever even bringing them up to speed on.
Which is crazy. I would never allow that shit. And and not even when it comes to copyright. Like if I had a business, like let's say I was the owner of Circle, for example. If I was the owner of Circle, I would always, no matter what deal I ever made, maintain full creative control. Absolutely. I would never give it up. I would never become a publicly traded company or have to sit under a fucking board and let them tell me how to run my own business. Fuck that, dude. And at the very least, if I had to, I would always keep controlling shares of the company. So it's just fucking, I don't know. It's insane. It's insane. I don't know. If I ever got to that level, dude, oh, you'd have to kill me. You'd have to kill me before I gave it up. I will run that fucking company into the ground before I fucking give up my ability to make decisions.
What's going on or why in regards to that content. Without ever even checking with their clients here, in this case, Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold,
That's
do you
crazy.
want to pursue this? They're just doing it.
Yeah, they're not given any notice at all. They're just like, "Hey, we found this list of people who have used your content. This is like the suspicion level of like how much that we think that they're trying to do it maliciously." And then as content creators they could just look it up. Okay, here's the clip, blah blah blah. Or even if the lawyers wanted to go the extra mile, they could have links provided so then they can, just grab it. And then maybe if they wanted to grab full context, they can look at a full video, whatever.
without even consulting them. And it's something that Brad Arnold mentioned is pretty disturbing to him that needs to change. So
Yeah,
he's
it's a
already
scummy
trying to
practice.
get a handle on that so this doesn't happen to other creators or other people going forward because it is an issue. Like, yes, it sucks that I got served this paperwork, but imagine all the other people that might have this exact same legal documents, well, stack of legal documents sitting on their desk right now panicking that it hasn't been retracted because Brad Arnold and Reed Timmer don't even know they got it because Viral DRM has already just went through all of this without talking to them first.
Yeah, it seems like a clear abuse of power, as far as like the law firm is concerned. But then again, I don't know what kind of agreement was signed for them to pursue it on their behalf. So that's why this type of stuff is always sketchy to me. And trying to make a deal with a lawyer, you might as well make a deal with the devil because they're going to know what plays they can make and what plays they can't before you even sign the dotted line. So I don't know if I ever would.
When it takes 2 seconds for Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold to see, like in my case, how it was utilized and be like, oh, that's like totally fine. What the fuck? What are we doing here in the first place? This is a huge mistake. There's a big misunderstanding. Why are we even like this far down the road on it? The reason why they even have someone manage the rights of their content, as I understand it, keep in mind I'm a little new to the whole Storm Chaser ecosystem here and how their content gets like exploited and all of that. But the reason why Storm Chasers sign with these like agencies and these managers is because apparently there has been a history of like organizations like media outlets stealing the content for their broadcasts without paying the licensing fee that
Now that I absolutely agree with. Media does this shit all the time. All the time. They find some sort of clip that somebody has the rights to. It's a personal clip, whatever. And they just yank that shit.
they charge to license it out, or they'll do it uncredited, and they'll just take it without ever even contacting the Storm Chaser. And Storm Chasers, as I understand it, they pay out of pocket for these missions, really. So they have these managers manage the rights of it, so that way that doesn't happen. So if a media outlet comes in, takes the content without paying them, well, it now gets flagged internally, so now they can reach out and try and get that money that they are owed for the work. But it is clearly, fucking digivolved into something far different where now it's extending to the entire internet space where anyone now that shows even a brief section of the work is on the hook, which is, I think, very different than how Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold intended for it to be utilized, especially with how Brad Arnold talked about it to me on the phone. He does not agree with how it is being utilized like this. It's just very odd.
Yeah, because all it takes is for them to go after the wrong person, right? Could you imagine them going after XQC? Imagine them trying to sue XQC, man. Oh, that would have been absolute cinema. Because I don't even know if XQC would even make these videos. He would probably make videos that he was being sued because it's obvious content farm. But I don't think he would ever have gotten into the specifics or like tried to talk it down. I think he would have actually legitimately followed it up, went to court, and just absolutely countersued so hard. Dude, that law firm would not exist anymore. I swear.
Like it almost feels like it's designed to be there for like a settlement as opposed to going through like the entire process.
Right.
Because it took Brad and Reed two
It's a quick
seconds to
grab.
get caught up to speed with what was going on and why, and say like, "Oh, this is a big mistake. This shouldn't be happening." But the viral DRM has already gone through all of it, and I'm now served these papers. So it feels like they just built the case very quickly, and it feels very weird to me because I don't think like if this didn't get retracted, like if this went through the entire song and dance, the bells and whistles, I really don't think there's a world in the fucking multiverse that Doctor Strange would peer into where this would win.
Right. That's exactly what I said earlier. I don't think it would ever hold up in a court of law for many
So it
reasons.
just the whole thing is just odd to me. I do think that there was probably paperwork signed between Reed Timmer, Brad Arnold, Viral DRM about how they have like full autonomy to manage their rights in whatever way they deem appropriate.
which is exactly another point I was saying earlier. I would never, ever, ever sign an agreement with a lawyer at all, especially when it comes to managing something that I need full creative freedom to. That's insane.
But I don't know if Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold were aware of things like this happening. And based on how I was speaking with Brad Arnold and what he was talking about, it seems like he doesn't really like that he doesn't know what's going on in regards to how his content is managed
Shit, I
here and
wouldn't
like
either.
this litigious nature and like it seems like the whole purpose is to stop like legitimate bad actors from stealing it and circumventing like the licensing fee and that kind of thing, which this was not doing here. And again, I have no idea if this went to a lot of people or just me. I don't know. Anyway, though, I'll stop blabbering here. Like I said, I did talk to Brad Arnold on the phone, and he was a very nice guy and very understanding of like how messy all of this was here. So, and like I said in the last video, there's no ill will here from my end towards Reed Timmer or Brad Arnold for this. I appreciate it being handled so quickly here, and I've got my fingers crossed, really hoping that.
Well, I don't think I need to see the rest of it. I mean, it's pretty much we got our answer. It's pretty wrapped up. I mean, everything's good to go. So, yeah, fucking crazy, man. Go like the video. I forgot to say that yesterday. So, if you watched the last patch notes, go check out the channels, give them likes, if you enjoy their content, all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm out of. Normally, I'm pretty good at this, right? And I'm pretty good at like shouting that stuff out, but I'm so out of sync. I've been taking too many like lapses in between like lots of recordings, so it's like I'm so like out of whack now. I'm out of sync. Out of sync with the YouTube rhythm. So, that being said, it's going to be the end of this video. So, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next patch notes. We actually got through this under an hour, so yay.